So in this video, I wanted to do a question and answers kind of thing, basically a survey. I've seen a lot of people ask about this in the past, and I've done this at work actually before. There are a lot of other things out there, SurveyMonkey, stuff like that. But let's say you want to make one in AutoHotkeys. So we're going to look at that. I also want to take it a little step forward and make it so that depending on the answer, you can get a different type of question. So kind of like an adaptive survey, if you will. Just because doing straightforward questions would be a little too easy. So let's show you that. Let's look at this code. So the code's going to be triggered by F1 for me. If you want it so that the code just automatically runs when the person launches your survey, just delete this line. But for the video, I'm just going to use F1. I'm then going to have StringCaseSense turned off, just because, you don't know who's going to be typing, how they're going to be typing, if they capitalize every, beginning of their answer or lowercasing it because they're just typing it straight out. I don't have to deal with that. So I'm just doing string case off so it detects either way. Obviously, I want to save the data that's being put into the survey. So I got FileAppend, and I'm just having it grab the person's username so I know who's taking the survey. And then it's going to save it to my desktop as Test.txt. So just a simple text file. At the end of the survey, you could do a few things. You could make it so that it automatically emails it to you. I've done a video on how to do emails and stuff like that. Or if they just, maybe throw it into like a Teams or Skype chat, they can send it to you. Whatever you want. Obviously, I'm not going to send it to anybody, so I just got it saving to my desktop for now. But you can add more code at the end based off some of my other videos I did. So I'm starting with question number 1, obviously. And the first question I want to ask is, how old are you? So it's just a simple variable with that data stored in there. And obviously, I want the answer to start off blank. Technically, I guess you don't really need this in there since it would start off blank anyway. But I'm putting it there so it doesn't throw an error code in my GUI here. So the GUI is pretty straightforward. I can go ahead and show you that to better understand that. Where did I put that? There it is. There we go. So I got a little group box around here just to make it look a little nicer. Q1, how old are you? And then I got an input text box here where you can put your answer and then submit, and that'll take you to the next question. I also have it just so if you close it, it just exits the program completely. So they type their answer in, and they're going to hit the submit, which has that go submit here. So it jumps down here to this handler. Obviously, I'm going to hide, or I'm not going to hide the GUI, but I'm going to submit it. That way it's still visible. If the answer is blank, meaning they didn't type anything in, they're going to get a message box that says, please put an answer in. If you want to give them the option to have a question be blank, you just delete this. Maybe it doesn't apply to them or something. So then we want to do answer count. So we go up 1 based off the starting up there, which actually, okay, so it just starts at 1. So if question equals 1, which was just the first question, this is all the information for the first question. This does 2 things. It takes their answer and stores it into that file that was created at the beginning of the script. Then go ahead and generate the next question for question 2. And then we're going to use Gui Controls. What Gui Controls are, they just update different fields on your GUI for you. So basically, we're putting that new question there, and we're making that Q1 become Q2 instead. And then answer, obviously, we want to make it blank on their next one, so we just have GUI control answer with nothing here. And that's going to blank it out so it's ready for the next one. So here's kind of where we have that little road map of, based on their answer, what is the next question? So here, because the first question is, how old are you? If you're over the age of 18, it's going to ask you, did you graduate from high school? But if you're under the age of 18, it's going to ask, are you still in high school? So it's going to make a decision there. So once again, go through all that. Now it sees that you're on question number 2. Exact same thing. We're going to count up one more so it knows that we're getting ready for the next question. It's going to update all that stuff, save the file. You know, if they answer yes, here's your next question. If you answer no, here's your next question. And I should probably put a question mark there since it is a question. And then we get on to question 3, which is my final question. So I don't really need to, since there's no more questions after this, I don't really need to have, you know, a split or anything. We're pretty much done. I don't need those GUI controls. So I'm just going to save that last answer. Give them a message box. Thank you for answering. Thank you for your answers, you know, whatever their username is, just to let them know that they're done the survey. And then it's just going to close out of the app because they have no use for it anymore. And a lot of people don't know how to go down and right-click and say close application. So we're just helping them out for that so they don't have to worry about this just running in the background for no reason at all. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show this part, and then I'll show the second part I did, which you'll understand here in a second. So here we go. How old are you? 18. Yep. Why did it do that? Hold on, let me try that again. Oh, okay. Where was that? Okay, so I guess I'm glad that kind of happened so I can show you why that happened. So I put 18 and it automatically assumed I was done. It's because neither one of these ifs helped or hit because my answer was 18. So technically that's not greater or less than. I would just need to put equals signs in here. But I'd probably only just put it for the 1. That way it's not confused of which one to use. So that way if it's 18 or greater, then versus just 18 or greater. So yeah, that should be a little better. How old are you? All right, we'll pretend I'm 29. Why not? Miss those times. Oh, what are we doing here? I think I was just running the old version. There we go. All right, how old are you? 29. Submit. There we go. Did you graduate from high school? Yes. Are you in college? No. And submit. And there we go. Thank you for your answers, Tom. And then I'm going to push OK, and it's going to exit out of that program completely. And here's that file there. So then, you know, like I said, you could have this automatically emailed to you, or you could say, hey, please email the answers to me when you're done. And that's all it is right here, as you see. Nice little format there. Got my username, and it put both the question and the answer, just so you know which answer is being referenced to what. So yeah. Now, let's say you want to have some motivation for people to want to do your survey. You have a drawing. Hey, for everybody who completes a survey, enter in for a chance to win like a $5 gift card to somewhere or something. That's usually what we do, because it really definitely bumps up the amount of people who are going to take it. So down here, I'm going to push F2. I'm going to get an inbox or input box. Accidentally dragging some stuff there. So I'm going to get this input box here, and it just says, please enter all names with comma between. You can use whatever you want. You don't have to use a comma. But if you do use something different, just make sure right here for the string split that you put something different. So all the information I entered into there, it's going to be saved as the variable name list. Down here, it's going to string split it based off commas and save it as a name. It's then going to go down here. That's a handler, which we'll see here in a second. And it's going to pick a number, a random number, 1 through 20. I mean, you can put this as high as you want, but I'm just assuming I'm not going to have more than 20 people or something. There's only 20 people on my team. I mean, you could put 500 on here. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure it's higher than the amount of people you think are going to be taking the survey. Winner, it's going to, basically, we're going to grab a random name from the string split that it did. That's going to be winner. If winter is blank, basically go back and pick another number between 1 and 20. If I only enter 3 names in there and it picks the number 15, that variable will be blank. So obviously there would be no winner. So it's just going to do another random number. And like I said, even if this is like 500, it's going to go through this. This is kind of like a weird way to do a loop, but it's going to go through it like really fast, so you should be fine. But if it's not blank, you actually got a name in there, we're going to display a message box saying, and the winner is winner, whatever that variable is stored as. So let's go ahead and do that. So give me a second. I'm just going to enter some random names here. Bob, that's what I meant to put in. So let's go ahead and push OK, and let's find out who our winner is. And the winner is Bob. So yeah, this is a pretty simple way to do a survey. I know there's a lot of like websites out there where you can do surveys and stuff and create them, but I'm not sure how flexible they are on doing something like this, where it's, you know, got an if over the age of 18, ask this question, but if they're under 18, ask this question. So this is nice. It gives you a little more flexibility. In here, I used a GUI. Obviously, you don't have to use a GUI. You can do input boxes here instead. I just like the GUI because I think it makes it a little, you know, cleaner looking. Maybe you can throw like your logo over here, or maybe add some text over here that says, you know, once you're complete, please submit to this email address and you'll be entered in for a chance to win, you know, a $5 gift card or whatever. All right. As always, I will throw all this code down into the description below. If you have any questions or want me to kind of expand on any of the stuff I covered in this video, definitely hit me up in the comments. I'm pretty good at answering. You know, if for some reason there's a lot of questions, I can always do a second video on this. Please hit that subscribe button. Helps me out. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and see you later.